What's up? What's up? It's Friday. Just decided to hop on here. I might do more lives Friday. I'll you know, put your suggestions in the comments and stuff like that on you feel about feel like that talk about if you feel like Friday's a good night to just come and talk about dogs in general or Patterdales of course, because that's what we do most here. But yeah, it's Friday night, so it's a couple of things on Facebook that people have been talking about, and one that's kind of actually it came up in the last live. If you didn't get a chance to check that, it came up in the last live. Um, Talking about as far as Patterdales and beavers. So in the last live, it came up, and it's been it was good, Greg. What's good? What's good? What's up? Yeah, just decided to hop on Friday night. Wasn't doing nothing, but I was just saying, yeah, I might do this. Might do this more. You know, people might. I'm assuming people are free Friday nights more. You know, what I mean, we're always gonna keep doing the Wednesday night lives, interviews, and stuff like that. But I might start doing a little Friday night thing where we hop on here and talk about anything Patterdale or maybe some of the hot topics that are on social media as far as the Patterdale. And I was just saying one of the topics that came up on the last live Wednesday, or 2 Wednesdays ago, not 2 days ago, 2 Wednesdays ago. And my brother, good friend Billy Houston was talking about it on Facebook as far as the Patterdale and the beaver. And yeah, my opinion, I have a 10-pound Patterdale. Obviously, I would be an irresponsible owner to send my 10-pound Patterdale on a beaver. But, maybe if you have like a 20-pound Patterdale and up, but even that is dangerous for, a male. An adult beaver could get up to like what they say 55, 60 pounds or something like that. So the whole conversation is that, can a Patterdale do it? And yeah, I think, a Patterdale could do it. I mean, if it happened 10 times, the Patterdale might get it twice. You know what I mean? Like I said, I would it would have to be a Patterdale, that was like, I would say 20 pounds or more, 20 pounds at least, which is not big at all if it's running into a beaver that's 40, 50 pounds, especially if it's 60 pounds, obviously. So, yeah, we got some people said that they've seen it. You know what I mean? They had Patterdales that was little over 20 or around 20. And they've had Patterdales that was able to pull them out. And obviously they took care of it after. But there's these people who have always also said that they seen beavers turn around and take a chunk out of a dog, which I would assume that would happen most of the time, is, you know what I mean? Especially, like I said, the size difference. I mean, that's why they have weight classes in boxing and stuff like that, because the size difference. So if you got if you got a 20-pound Patterdale going against a 40-pound beaver and up, I mean, that's pretty dangerous. Now, of course, if it happens, it happens. That's the dangers of one of the dangers of free casting. If it happens, your dog might just end up running into a beaver den, or run into a beaver in general. But or a dam, I should say, or whatever. But yeah, as far as someone purposely taking their Patterdale out to catch beaver or to hunt beaver, I would think, you know what I mean? I would call it irresponsible, unless that Patterdale's a good size, and even then it's still, kind of reckless. And at the end of the day, that's they wasn't really bred to get beaver. At least from from what I've learned, and when I've been out and doing the lives and talk to people, is not they wasn't really bred to get beavers. So I mean, it's kind of like, what's the point? But yeah, if you got some comments on it, people that are viewing this, if you got some comments on it, you want to leave a comment, you know what I mean, in the chat, we can talk about it. But yeah, I would think Greg, what did you say? Groundhogs, fox, and raccoon, yes. Beaver, not so much. Exactly, yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's basically my thoughts on it, Greg, is yeah, they wasn't, you know what I mean? They wasn't bred to really, and obviously they probably wasn't bred for that, because bred for beaver. Beaver wasn't a big thing as far as people using them because of the size difference. And at the end of the day, that beavers are not, from what I understand, there's not too many beavers like down in the ground, or you know what I mean? They're pretty much in dams in the water, and and even that's dangerous too, because a beaver bring your dog in the water, it's probably over for your dog. But yeah, from what I understand, they were, they're earthwork dogs. So, groundhogs, fox, coon, of course possum, but they're really no fight. But it is still, it is what it is. If if you got a farm, a crop, a garden, or whatever, and a possum's fucking it up, messing it up, then yeah, then those come into play too. But yeah, I wouldn't send my dog on a beaver. You know what I mean? That would kind of now, there is bigger bloodlines that of course overseas there's even bigger bloodlines where it's like, yeah, you might they might have ones that are 25 pounds that obviously you might try it, but even then I wouldn't really suggest it. I would just do what they were bred for. But and that's another thing that we've been talking about lately as far as free casting, and that's one of the things that can happen as far as free casting, that your dog could run into something that it's really not built for. And Patterdales, once they're on and they're ready to go, they'll pretty much run up on something and get themselves killed. So there's that. But yeah, we'll keep doing these Friday nights and thing. Oh, salute my good man. Glad I caught the live. Yeah, man, this is actually the first live I actually did on Fridays. I'm thinking about doing a little more Friday nights. So there probably won't be a good amount of people in here tonight, because this is literally the first one. I just hopped on. I didn't really tell anyone or let anyone know earlier today or promote it and anything. But yeah, I'll probably do more Friday night live, and we'll just come on here and talk Patterdale. Billy, what's up, man? Actually, I actually just mentioned you because we was I know I put the Patterdale Talk is their top tier bloodline, and anyone could give their opinion on that, but we was just talking about the beaver as far as the Patterdale and the beaver. You know what I mean? And is it smart? What would you say that and we spoke about a little on Facebook. I would say, you would need a nice size Patterdale for a beaver. You know what I mean? And it's kind of irresponsible to, in my opinion, to each our own. Your opinion is your opinion, but my opinion is kind of irresponsible to purposely put a Patterdale on a beaver. Even if it's like a 25-pound Patterdale, that's not really what they were bred for. And if it's a beaver that's 40, 50, 60 pounds, like 60 pounds, 50 pounds, that's just dangerous, plain and simple. So, but yeah, that's what we was talking about. For those who just hopped in here, there's an English Lodge Hunting Club where I live in Virginia, and they are huge fans of using Patterdales to bolt the fox after them. Yeah, that's definitely, and that's more what they were. Even that is, dangerous, because you might get a fox that just bout it and turn around and grab the Patterdale. But yeah, that's more what they were and I know people will do the same thing. I actually been in a situation with my dog and out with a couple of friends where we it kind of sucked because we left the lurcher. We went out trying to find groundhogs and coon, so we didn't bring out my friend's lurcher, and ended up finding like a fox. Chased him out, but he got away. It wasn't We had a couple Patterdales with us, nothing crazy, but yeah, they're definitely used for that. I've used them for that like once or twice, you know. And that one particular time, we didn't have the when we actually clean it, exit out the hole and dash out. We just didn't have the lurcher with us really to catch it, and but it is what it is. It was still fun. Doing for like never seen a beaver up close. I've seen them. We have them where I live. I've seen them probably a good 5 times, like just out, like in the wild, or where I was out in like by water in the forest, or I've seen one on a farm before. But no, they're not something I've seen a lot. Throughout my life, not something you see like every day or every week or every month, but depending on where you live, obviously. I live in the city. So if I lived out in the sticks, I'm pretty sure I'd see him a lot more. Your dog's way too small for beaver. My dog's way too small for beaver. West said Ron are too dangerous. I agree. Yeah. And as you know, Billy, my dog's way too small for beaver. I mean, I do have a lurcher. She's a pup. She's probably about 7 months. But, we'll be using her for, I mean, if she run into a beaver, it is for this. She'll be big enough. But yeah, we'll be using her. Like I said, we'll be using her for things like chasing a fox out of a den, and she'll be able to chase that fox down and grab him up. So, and I also have a pit bull, but he's dog aggressive, so I don't really bring him out hunting. So, but obviously he would be able to. He's probably about 50 pounds. He would be able to do his thing with a beaver. What do we got here? Man, those pets are clever as hell when it comes to dispatching game and other dogs. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely smart. They're definitely smart. I mean, that's probably the two best things about them, is that they're well, three things I would say is that they're full of energy. They don't get tired. They're smart, and they got big cojones. They got a lot of heart. They're not really scared of anything. Sometimes that could get them killed, but yeah, it is what it is. That's what we love about them, right? I know they are around because they have built dams everywhere. Yeah, I mean, and if I looks of it, it seems like you got some nice sized dogs in your photo. I don't know if those are your dogs, but if those are, you'll be fine with a beaver. Go get you one. If they're where you're at, go get you one. That's a bull still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still counts. Still counts. Still works. Hopefully, I mean, we was on a farm. We was helping out a farmer that day. But, it's still good fun. But yeah, if he moves on, that's always good. So yeah. And again, it was still a great time. So there's always that. I think people risk the dogs because they have seen the dogs do amazing things. Yeah. I mean, that's true too. If you have, I mean, they definitely do amazing things, but it's also being for me at least, there's the responsible part. And when I get a dog, any type of dog it is, and I know you could get a dog. I'm gonna do what the dog is bred for. You know what I mean? Now you could get a dog like a Malinois or a pit bull or something like that could do pretty much whatever. You know what I mean? But if you know what I mean, if it's something like a Patterdale, I'm gonna do what it was. You know what I mean? What it was bred for. that's just, that's just me though. You know what I mean? To each your own. But yeah, but if I know if I gotta experience Patterdale and it's 25 pounds, and I see a beaver that might be 30 pounds, I might let it go. But I mean, just sending it to a, you know what I mean? Into a beaver den, a dam or whatever. And just, you don't know what if there's two in there and what size they are, you know. I'm yeah, I'm gonna keep my Patterdale out of there. We got here, Christian. I run into lots of beaver in dens. They all bolt. Only thing I've dug in the beaver dens is coons. Yeah, there's coons tend to go in there a lot. I heard of lots of folks running beaver dens over the years, but never heard of one that didn't bolt. Yeah, they're definitely runners, but if a dog grabs them, then they're probably gonna turn around, even if they're biting to get away. If it's not a good sized dog, then anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. So, to each his own. It's just, and even when you're every time your dog goes into the ground, it's obviously dangerous. You know what I mean? So even when you got a Patterdale doing what it was bred for, like going in the earth or groundhogs, coons, it's still almost damn near 50-50. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. Question for you. I recently researched the Ren Terrier. These are my pups that have spent. Question. I recently researched the Ren Terrier. Okay. Trained them a lot away from dog aggression. Okay. I believe the Ren Terrier was 50 mix. I'm not too I would have to do a little bit more homework on them. I'm not sure what they are like. You know what I mean? For sure, I would have to do a little bit of homework on them. But I mean, if you have done the homework and then you know more than me. So the ABT this one, I'm not. Yeah, I would have to do some homework. Clovers. Okay, that's good to know. Do you have a favorite line of pets? Me? No, I don't. I don't have a favorite line of pets. Um, at least not yet, because I haven't hunted. I've hunted with several bloodlines, but not enough to really, or not enough with enough other bloodlines. You know what I mean? And enough experience to really say I have a favorite line yet. Maybe in a couple of years, I got the experience where I've got a chance to hunt with all the lines or most of the lines, and got more experience in with this line, got more experience in with this line, this line, this line. Right now, as far as the dogs I've hunted with, I mean, my dog is a Mason, so there's that. A couple other people I know got Masons. Cocker, couple just other, others, Roughneck, couple other stuff, but was it Golden, Headhunters, couple of Jamie's dogs, but yeah, I would have to like really have to favorite. I'm gonna have to get more experience in and hunt with more of the other bloodlines to really say. I can say I love my dog Mace. She's a Mason, but I can't say like Masons might be my favorite now because it's my dog, but I can't say that's like I have like, okay, that's it for me yet, because I haven't done enough with the other bloodlines. So, but there might be some people in here that got more experience and they could tell you their favorite, you know what I mean, just because they have done it with most of the bloodlines or all the bloodlines or a lot, you know what I mean? But and there's not a million bloodlines when it comes to the Patterdale, but there's enough. There's enough. Most all pets have bull up close. Problem is always using the wrong game dog. You need face or chest dog. Only you don't want to stifle biters. Hey, I mean, I agree. I agree. You know, what I mean, I agree with some of that. I mean, I mean, everyone has their opinion. But yeah. At the end of the day, most of them probably do have bull in them and stuff like that. But some of them, that still might be close. Some of them, it was years ago when it was put in their bloodline. But it is what it is. Thanks, Christian. I didn't know that. Makes a lot of sense. Pre-mine and Nato are the best keepers and workers I've had out of about 60ish Patterdales. Yeah, I mean, again, I even something like Nuttall, I'm not positive. I'm not, but I don't think I really hunted with too many Nuttall dogs yet. You know what I mean? So even I haven't maybe had the experience, you know what I mean? But I'll get there, and as you say, 60 Patters dogs. But out of those 60, was there's how many different bloodlines? Did you have 60 dogs? And I'm asking, you know what I mean? I'm not, judging. I'm asking, did you have 60 dogs, 2 different bloodlines? You know what I mean? Or 60 dogs, 4 or 5 different bloodlines? Or your dog's short coats or wide? My dog Sin, she's kind of like a in between. Like she's not really like a short coat smooth, and she's not really like wire. It's kind of like a thick, kind of like a thick coat, little rough, but not really wire at all. If you know what I mean. Hey man, I appreciate you for hopping on. Hey, I'm just another guy. Live your life dogs here. We love all dogs, but one of our, as people, anyone who loves all dogs, you have your favorite dogs and your dogs that are your passion. And Patterdale happens to be one of mine. So yeah. So we come here and talk about Patterdales, man. And I appreciate you for coming through. Glad you like the platform. Mason dogs have the best drive per dog I've seen as far as staying in ground. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I mean, I had my dog's a Mason, and she does great as far as. But again, she's only as far as my experience with her. She has never did no, nothing that we don't want. She's, if this anytime she smells something and there's something she goes in, she's always been right. There's always been something down there, and we always had to, dig her out to get her out. You know what I mean? She always does her thing, so that's good to know. Again, I'm still gonna experience with a whole bunch of other bloodlines in the future, but yes, but my experience with Mason dogs and my girl Cinnamon is been great. Yeah, she's been a great dog. She's doing everything we wanted to do. I learned more about going to grab. Yeah, man. Thanks. And that was and I'm and oh and yeah, and if you've been watching, you've heard me say a million times, that's that's pretty much, that was one of the big reasons for me making this not making, but starting this live is to, talk more about the Patterdale and for everyone to learn and, bring the Patterdale community more together. We all learn together, have fun together here. We could also joke, laugh, which we do. Anytime Jamie Park's in there, he always got a few jokes, you know what I mean? So Yeah, and that was another thing for me to learn even more. And I've learned probably just as much as you. You know what I mean? Or more because maybe because I'm the one doing all the interviews. But yeah, that was another reason why I made it. Just for me to learn, for you to learn, for all of us to learn together. You know what I mean? It's always positive vibes here. So we're gonna keep it going, man. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Trying to get more people in here. And yeah, I'm probably gonna do this Friday thing night more. I'll probably do it a little earlier so we be be able to get more people in here the earlier we do it, even though it's a Friday night. But yeah, probably gonna keep this going. Maybe not every Friday night, but if that's another thing, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, so it will let you know ahead of time that okay, Live Your Life Dogs is going live tonight. You know what I mean? And it'll do it even if it's a night where I normally don't go live. If you turn it on, it will let you know that I'm going live later on that night, or I am live, or whatever. So turn your alarm on your notifications as far as for this page. And again, tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Okay, I know what you mean. Your Mason Terrier has no blood in her, I believe. Yeah, maybe I would have to yeah, I mean, I don't know how far back it goes. I think I don't want to. If I'm not mistaken, he might have originally started his bloodline 30 years ago from Mason or whatever. I mean, from Nuttall or whatever, which probably what I mean makes perfect sense. But yeah, I would have to look and see how far back, because I know Mason has been doing his own thing for years now. So, but that's why it's always good to have these pedigrees, my opinion, because you could always go back and look. Oh, yeah, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, man. So hey, I like everything you're saying. You had to, not saying I'm someone that could judge you. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm learning from you right now, and you're teaching me something right now as far as you've had all these bloodlines, and one of your favorite is Mason. So yeah, that's good to know. Obviously better, feels a little better when you have a Mason, but it is what it is. They all and I never clue I don't think I ever even heard of that. I would have to check my notes and stuff because I always keep notes of everything, but I'm not even sure if I ever heard of that bloodline. So again, that's why we come here. To now I just learned something new. You know what I mean? So that's why we come here. Yeah, yeah, and that was another thing why I started this is that yeah, when I looked, there was people maybe posted videos here and there. Roughneck had a lot of videos up. One on One had a lot of videos up, but a lot of those videos was old. But no one was really doing. There's always you go to the Cane Corso, Pitbull, Frenchie, of course, and again, Live Your Life Dogs. So I'm connected to a whole bunch of different dog channels and stuff. Obviously, um, Patterdale is one of my favorite dogs, and what I really do now is hunt with the Patterdale. So had to start a lot for that. But even when I looked, yeah, there was no one really doing it too much. So there's always that. So glad I can make this and get everyone in here and just have fun with it, man. Oh, not on Mason to Canada about 20 years ago. They worked Badger a lot. Yeah, yeah, I bet they did out in Canada. Probably was Yeah, the Nuttall probably gave it some size. I'm assuming. I'm no expert. I'm assuming. Awesome idea. Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks, Christian. I can research those lines now. Yeah, exactly. So and then yeah. back to this one with the lines of let me throw that up there real quick too, because I've never heard of the clue. And that, and again, that shows everyone in here, as many lives and interviews I've done. I don't think everyone mentioned it, and if they did, maybe I missed it. But yeah, we're gonna check them out, do some homework on them. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, man, sharing always helps. We're trying to get we're just there's a lot of people in the Patterdale world, and there's a lot of people. Obviously, there's even more people in the Patterdale world that that don't know we're doing this. So yeah, we get more people in there. We just all learn more. We all have more fun with it. The more people, the better. If you ask me. Definitely hit the thumbs up. Definitely hit the thumbs up. Definitely hit the like. All that good stuff for sure. Appreciate it. Appreciate your info, Christian. Yeah, thanks for the info for sure. For sure, for sure. I thought that badger would be more dangerous than me. Um, that's okay. That's a okay. Is badger more dangerous than beaver? I would probably think there's badgers that kill beavers. Badgers are angry as shit. Now that being said, it would kind of like you just said, I would think that badgers would be more dangerous than beavers. So I'm kind of double up on what you said. But yeah. So I'm double up on what you said, but I don't know. Maybe I know one thing that comes even when it comes to the coon, if they're next to water, there's coons that will drag your dog in the water and will drown it. So I can imagine if it's a badger, I mean I can imagine if it's a beaver, that's and I'm no expert. Anyone who wants to, leave a comment. This is just me, thinking that would obviously be a big worry. And then for most beavers, I would say they're in dams, and most of them dams you can't get into unless you're going, under the water and up in those dams. I don't know. That's a good question because we know that people hunt. I would say the weight size. I would say the only thing I can think about that would like make a difference off rip is I don't badgers. From what I understand, I don't yeah. So that's what it's the weight. I would say it's the weight because badgers get up to 35 pounds, where a beaver can get up to like 55, 60 pounds. And like I was saying earlier, if you have a 25-pound Patterdale or 20-pound Patterdale, and when it's with the badger, it's kind of like a face-to-face thing. When it's in the ground thing, it's like a face-to-face thing. So you might get a dog that might grab the face or maybe just get to the neck. But again, the weight difference. I mean, even if you got a 15-pound Patterdale on a 35-pound badger, it's a 20, you know what I mean? It's a 20-pound weight difference. But if you got a 25-pound Patterdale on a 55-pound beaver, that's a 30-pound weight difference. So I mean, I would have to think it's the weight and being by the water is dangerous for the Patterdale. But that is, we're gonna definitely talk about it. It's definitely gonna come up. I'm gonna bring it up in other lives to get everyone's opinion. Me too. Damn near rival the world of ring. Yeah, you're right. But I know a lot of people, it's no big deal for people to hunt um badger with Patterdales. But maybe it's the face-to-face thing. So, I would have to, yeah, that's a good I'm glad you asked because that's just something else we could talk about. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's the maybe the dangers, but Badgers 20 to 30, Beaver 60. Yeah. And I've seen, I mean, I don't know if they're exaggerating whatever, but I've heard him talk to people in one farm that we go hunting out here, probably about an hour and a half away from where I live because I'm in the city. But the guy was telling us he's seen about it. This is probably about beginning of actually this was last summer actually, but we went out there to hunt and he was like, yeah, keep an eye out because I seen about a 80-pound beaver. You know what I mean? So he could have been, exaggerating a little, but that means that it was at least probably 70, 60 if he said that. So who knows though? But obviously it was a big beaver. Where the match take place because beaver in water drag a badger underwater, assuming, or a badger against a beaver on land. Yeah, exactly. I would think in the water, the beaver's gonna kill anything its size or smaller. You know what I mean? Except obviously maybe like a fucking otter or something, because they're just otters are savages for those who don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why I said that would be the and like again, I've heard stories. I've never seen it myself, but I heard stories of plenty of stories too, not just one or two, plenty of stories of from plenty people that have been hunting with Patterdales for years, decades, that yeah, coons will do the same thing. If your dog runs into a coon by the water, the coon will try to bring your dog down and drown it out. So yes, a beaver will drag your terrier into the water. The only difference if they won't hold your dog underwater, like the coon. Yeah, okay. So they'll drag them underwater and try to get away. Where the is that what you're saying, Eddie? They'll drag them underwater, just trying to get away. Like if your dog's holding on to them, and then they'll just keep trying to get away or whatever, maybe bite and then try to get away. Where a coon's gonna literally hold on to your dog and purposely might be smart enough to purposely know what it's doing. But either way, even if it doesn't know what it's doing, the coon does that where they'll bring your dog. Yeah, he ain't exaggerating. Yeah, I don't think he is at all. But yeah, that's a beaver, the badger. Yeah, I would think more. I would think more because Patterdales were bred, they're earth dogs. So they're bred to they're bred to work in the earth more and they know what they're doing in the earth more. You know what I mean? So going up against a badger face to face is what they've been doing for however many years, you know what I mean? Where again, they wasn't really bred. Maybe if they were bred for the last 20, 30 years to fuck with beavers, that might be a different case, but they're not bred to to fuck around in the water too much. Obviously, you got people who do the muskrat thing and all that, but yeah. But that definitely gives us something else to talk about it. I mean, talk about, and I'll definitely be bringing it up in the live, and maybe even talk about it a little on social media and get some comments about it and see people's opinions. But I would assume, you know what I mean? I would assume it would be the water. The water would makes it dangerous for the Patterdale or anything that's fucking with a beaver that its size, unless it's like another animal that that lives in the water type shit like the beaver. But and these bloodlines, I definitely wanna Billy, if you're still in here, I don't know if you are, but have you heard of the Kloop bloodline? or Eddie, anyone. Has anyone heard of the Clute bloodline, or Christian? Can you say a little bit more on it? I think that was Christian who said it. Yeah. Can you like, where is it? Who has it? Or where does it come from? Is it, because I never heard of it. So if you could give us a little bit more info on it, that would be good. Because you said that you've owned one before, so but yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into it myself. Jesus, boy. Lord. I'm definitely gonna look into it myself more. Okay, so it goes back to, and I mean that makes sense, because I mean most of these go back to Nuttall originally. You know what I mean? From If I'm not mistaken, you know what I mean. So makes sense. But like, who has do you know, Eddie? Do you know anyone? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to buy one tomorrow or nothing, but who has that bloodline? Like, is it a bloodline that's not really around no more? Eddie or Christian, or are they still around, or is it out in Cali, or is it overseas? Billy. No, I have not. Oh, okay, yeah, me either, brother. I haven't heard about it. But again, how I am. I'm here. I'm always here to learn. That's how life works. I'll be looking into it as well, but I'm assuming it came from Nuttall, or in the USA would be linked to a Mason blood. Very interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much, yeah. Most, if not all, bloodlines in the USA have, even if you go back, even if you go back, great 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 grandfather, have a little Mason in there somewhere. And again, I think the Mason originally started from Nuttall, and yeah, I mean, Billy Dog, that makes perfect sense. You see it back in the Peds? Okay, so yeah, maybe not something still around as much, but some dogs still have it in them. Yeah, Christian must not be in here. I wish he was still in here. Give us a little bit more insight on it, because he's the one who had it. But yeah, he got out. Yeah, Christian, if you come back and watch the rest of this, leave some comments on these questions. But again, we're all gonna do our homework. But you know, if you had a Clute dog and actually had a pedigree, you know, that makes it a little easier for us to understand, or learn what that bloodline is. But yeah, we definitely gonna keep talking about um the beaver and the badger thing. I want to get some other people's insight and opinions on that. And I'm pretty sure, out of all the people that I talk to and stuff like that, someone has had some experience, not experience, but someone could give a little bit more insight on the difference in, because it is a good question. Because I would think Wolverines are more I mean, I think Badger are more dangerous than but obviously there's the water thing to be. When we just went over that, so yeah, we'll just get more opinions on it and see what other people think. But that's definitely a good question. We have plenty of that blood, not terrier pets. Okay, Eddie? What bloodline do you have right now? I might have asked you this before. I'm not sure. I'd be being here doing these lives. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, talking to a whole bunch of people, different people. So sometimes things get a little, you know, mixed up. But Yeah, what bloodline do you have right now that has Coot in it? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, and what do you guys think about doing this more on Fridays? And again, this is my first time doing it. I just hopped on, but what do you guys think about doing this more on Fridays? Where we come here on Friday? I'm still gonna always do the Wednesday night lives interviews, but as far as the Friday nights, just coming here and talking to you guys, and we could just talk about anything. And I won't be interviewing a particular person. We're just coming here and talk about Patterdales or just dogs in general. If people want to talk, people want to talk about other dogs. That's always cool too on Friday nights. Wednesday will still be always Patterdale talk, but on Friday nights we could just come in here and talk Patterdale, of course, and talk about dogs in general. So that's something you think I should get going. If that's something you guys will tune into, let me know. Appreciate it. Okay, a few lines cock across, few lines. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna do more. So I'm guessing Clue is like obviously Mason is like a USA bloodline. Obviously Cocker and Nuttall and all that is overseas. So Clute is another overseas bloodline. Greg, I like the Friday. That's good to know. Yeah. Yes. Eddie, yes. Yeah. Yeah. One and one. What's up, my guy? My guy, my bro, my brother. How you doing? Yeah, man. I was just talking to them. We was basically talking about the Patterdale and the Beaver, and then we got into a little bit comparing the Patterdale with the Badger, because as we know, Patterdale's hunt badger and take care of badger, but the Beaver seems to be more dangerous for the Patterdale than the Badger, even though the Badger, you know what I mean? So we was talking about that, and then I was talking about as far as just I might do this more where I just hop on, as I don't really never hop on Friday nights, but yeah, just not really interview anyone, just come on here Friday nights and just talk anything Patterdale, anything that's hot on social media or being spoke about on Facebook or anything like that, and just come on here and even if it's not every Friday night, just come on here and talk Patterdale. One sec, one sec. Yeah, but yeah, so that's something I might do where okay, that's good to know, Greg. What did it say? Saturday night and Wednesday is best. Friday usually busy because of the week, but Saturday is a great time to catch up. Saturday 10 p.m. Stick to the interview. Definitely gonna stick to the interviews on Wednesdays. Um Friday's not good for you, which sucks, Billy. But hey, maybe I'll do a thing where I'll switch it up because I'm busy some Friday nights. Then I'm not busy some Friday nights. I'm busy some Saturday nights, and then I'm not busy some Saturday nights. So yeah, maybe we'll switch it up. And obviously, what I will do, and what I'll try to stay up on is maybe letting people know in the Wednesday lives which if I'm gonna go live again Friday or Saturday, or just make the event on Facebook, or just leave a post on Facebook and let people know ahead of time. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep doing this Friday nights, and it won't be every Friday, but and of course I'll keep doing the Wednesdays, but the Wednesday nights will be more the interviews, where the Friday nights will be me just coming to talk to you guys. And and another thing, I could always post a link in the comments, so anyone who just wants to hop on, we could always do that too on Friday nights. Where if it's just like, oh, you're just in your room and I'm talking about something that you have a lot to say about, and you rather just hop on and come and talk instead of typing all night and leaving in the comments, then we could do something like that. And yeah, I Billy, just you're my bro, so I could definitely make sure I get on there on some Friday nights at 10 p.m. for you. There's no football on, so I can make sure I do that. I could do that some of them Saturday nights for you, man. And I'll definitely get on some Friday nights. Probably won't be a time where I do Friday and Saturday, but yeah, there'll be weeks where I say, okay, I'll do it Friday. Then there'll be weeks I'll do okay, I'll do it Saturday, and hopefully, you catch it. What I'll try to do is get on a little earlier. Maybe that's a little better for everyone too. But yeah, we're gonna keep it going. Like, again, this is my first time. Appreciate you guys for coming in and showing a little love. But yeah, we'll keep this going. I'm gonna get up out of here tonight. I got a couple of things I go take care of. My kids are still running around, so I gotta go take care of that. But yeah, this I just hopped on real nice, so it wasn't real quick, so it wasn't really scheduled. Really, I just was just on the laptop, like, let me just, they're talking about this on Facebook, they're talking about that, and so let me just hop on. But yeah, we're gonna keep this going. I'll try to keep people up to date, and I'll try to put it up on YouTube, so I'll send you guys a notification ahead of time, letting you guys know that I'll be going live. And yeah, we'll go from there. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in on this quick little Friday night. Appreciate all the comments. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Anyone in the Patterdale world, let them know let them know we're doing this. Here on the Live Your Life Dogs channel. Big shout out to the PTCA. We work very closely with those guys, and that's the head of the Patterdale world over there. So yeah, man. Till next time, thank you for tuning in. Always much appreciated. Learned a lot tonight. You know what I mean? Like always, and that's the whole point. Till next time, guys. Thanks again.